Hi, beautiful humans. It's Kat with Kat's Oracle Shop. As I've mentioned before, the intention for this channel is to help provide tools on how we can live within the life that we have. And one of the tools that I want to provide and a conversation that I want to have is about meditation. Now, this conversation is meant for the people who've either never meditated or are new to meditation and maybe just don't know even how to get started. First off, let's talk about the goal of meditation. The mind is meant to be busy. That's its job. So meditation is a way to settle the body down and allow the mind to flow with non-attachment. Fuck does that mean? Well, that means that we know the mind has thoughts. It is a satellite dish, for lack of a better word, and it receives information, and its total function is to process that information. So if you have the expectation that you're going to sit down and quiet your mind, the fact that you're telling yourself you're going to quiet that mind is going to rebel because that's not its job. One of the functions and the benefits of meditation is how to allow the mind to do its job and then calmly watch the river flow. And then that way, once we've gotten to this state, it's like a brain, like alpha, delta, like type of, and pardon me, like my vocabulary is off. But the whole point of what I'm trying to get at is before we can even have this expansion that we're all so happy to have, we have to have a contraction first. Before you can have an evolution, we must have an involution. It's physics, babe. It is what it is. So, why am I having this conversation? I want to provide different techniques for people who've never meditated, whose mind seems to always be running around because, especially people with a lot of creativity, a lot of times we're diagnosed with ADHD and all these nonsensical things because people have been creative for a long time. It just means you're paying attention and your mind is processing things at a faster rate than most people, right? For me, I know my mind works much faster than my mouth. So that's why I have to slow my roll before I can even jump into these conversations, right? So let's talk about various techniques. One, another side note before I even get started is all the tools that I'm providing are tools that I personally use. Meditation looks very different for different people. Some people meditate through dancing. That's a great way to get into a trance-like state because that's the whole point, is to do something without actively choosing the mind, right? We want to let the mind flow. Just let it flow and stay present with it because that's the whole point of being in a meditative state, right? Is to stay present and allow everything to just be as it is. No control, no boundaries, just go with the flow. So, and another side note, I didn't come up with these techniques. I found this shit on the YouTubes. YouTube is an excellent tool. That's why I found you, right? So these techniques aren't something that I've designed. In fact, the one I want to talk about today, I found is called the Silva technique. You can Google that shit on the YouTube. It's the Silva meditating technique. So for people who've never meditated before, it takes practice. It's like wanting to learn how to swim without ever stepping foot in a pool. First, you got to get used to the water, right? Because that's a weird feeling. And then your body's going to really trip out and it's going to want to move around and do a lot of things because we have all this trapped energy. So, one of the techniques that I want to talk about today, this isn't going to be a long discussion, is counting backwards from 99. If you take 10 minutes, set the timer, put yourself in a space where you're not going to be disturbed, and just allow yourself permission to sit down and count from 99, 98, 97, 96, and go all the way to 1. Try it every day for a week. What you will find is at first your body's going to really rebel and be like, what are you doing? I've been allowed to run amok for this whole time, and now you want me to sit and chill? And let the body do its thing. If you need to move, move. If you need to get up and stand up, just know that every time your mind wanders, acknowledge it. There's no judgment, right? Don't sit there and be like, oh, I fucked up. No, no, no. We always get to start over. That's the cool thing, right? You can't get this wrong, period. It's your practice. Practice being the key word. It's like going to the gym. That's not fun either for some people. So for me, it's taken me a long time to get my body trained to what this state's supposed to feel like. So the best thing to do is to do this first thing in the morning. But at the same time, it's going to be varied for everybody. Some people, it's better when you're after work. It's better before work. If you don't work, maybe you get to do it at lunchtime. Sometimes I do it right when I'm just having an emotional state, right? Like my mind is running amok and I just need to I'm focused on something that I don't want to be focused on. And the law of attraction, whatever you spend your focus on, you're just going to get more of that. And I just need to cut that current, right? It's a disruptor. So whenever you're in an emotional state, you're not feeling your best, or for whatever reason, you need just to take a time out. This is what works for me. Again, just set the timer on your clock so that you have that, know that an alarm's going to go off. Give yourself permission to have 10 minutes just for you and count down from 99 to 1. And the cool thing is you can do this with children. This is a great teacher for teaching kids how to self-regulate their emotions and how to sit in stillness. And if you have a small baby and babies may be fussy, if you rock baby while you're counting down, it soothes baby too. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Why don't you give me a comment? Let me know you're out there. Are you listening? Do you care? And also, I'd be interested to hear what other discussions you'd like to have, because this is just one of many tools and many methods we're going to talk about on this channel. So I hope you have a beautiful day, because you're amazing. We're going to get through this together, right? Life's meant to be lived. So I'm just providing some tools to help us get connected with our body, with our mind, and our soul. We don't have to live in survival mode anymore, because that fucking sucks, right? We can choose to live in a beautiful world. Our reality is what we choose it to be. I love you. Have an amazing day. See you soon.